I have to excuse the poor graphics in this. This is I'm using a notepad for diagram, which is not very ideal, but I'll have to excuse that, but it is what it is. One second there, buddy. What I want you to do is, instead of talking about God, I want you to talk about. We'll talk about God in a second, but I want you to answer what I'm talking about here. One. No. So I don't know how well you guys can see this little thing I've got here on my screen, but just used the Notepad application on my so hi is God light? Because if yes, he is a form of light that didn't need to come into existence, and if he's not life and he's created life, then life came from non-life. Well, that's that's a lot of mumbo jumbo, and it's very irrational to think like that. God is not a life form. God is immaterial. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm using Notepad, but I appreciate the compliment, Nicholas. So here we go. Life from non-life. Has it ever been observed? No. Then it's not scientific. Is it possible for abiogenesis to have ever occurred, or to ever occur now or ever? No, it's not observable. Effects always have causes. It's anti-science nonsense. So we know, according to Genesis, man was created by God from the dust of the earth, but that's not abiogenesis. That's God. God is the agent, not some random nothingness. Oh, has it been observed? Okay, no. Well, the thing is, not everything that has been. That's a bit of a straw man, but to say that something. What I can say is that creation is not. We can't say origins are science in the face of it, because every origin has to assume some kind of epistemology that we can't prove. But that doesn't mean that the epistemology is false. But the thing is, the origins of life aren't scientific in nature. We infer science from origins. So every epistemology is circular to start with, and nobody could. Well, the thing is that, yeah. So it's it's a good question, Eddie. I'll give you that much. So yeah, I think it's rather fallacious to say that just because something hasn't been observed. I mean, I didn't observe. Yeah, thank you. Well, I mean, I didn't observe Hitler killing Jews. Can we prove that Hitler killed Jews because I didn't observe it? I mean, yeah. So every epistemology has to be every epistemology is circular, but that doesn't mean that every epistemology is wrong. Obviously, every epistemology can't be wrong, or we wouldn't be able to have reason about anything, which is obviously not how it is. Okay, well, I mean, I don't really follow AIG too much. I like some of their stuff, but I don't agree with all of their stuff. Then again, I probably don't agree with anybody on everything, which is perfectly normal. But again, what is factual and non-factual isn't about whether or not we believe it. It's about whether or not it's true. So even if something hasn't been observed, just because something hasn't been observed doesn't make it not true or true. But we don't get to make the predictions of I guess we can do predictions of a process. Yes. Yeah, I agree. So exactly. So that's what I mean. So when it comes to origins, the only thing we can do is use inference and induction. I wouldn't say only, but inference and induction are a good way. Yeah, I think that inference and induction are a good way to infer from the past. That's the only way we can make sense of it, right? Inference and induction. Thanks for that compliment, Nicholas, about my WordPad diagram with abiogenesis. So maybe I can even get, let's see here, see if I can get YouTube up and running. So if we make a prediction, let me pull this up. To make predictions of a process in the past could work, test it, we could find it working. Yes, that'd be enough. Yeah, I mean that's how we do that all the time, anyways, right? That's how we do that with the weather. That's how we do with relationships. That's how we deal with the natural world. We make predictions based on what we can observe. So, and we can infer from the past to some degree about what we can observe in the present now. Okay, that's fine. I'm not really knowledgeable in abiogenesis. It just kind of flew by me. I don't know. I'm not laughing at you guys. I'm laughing at something someone said on my DM. Oh man, the way people think about things sometimes just boggles my mind, man. Yeah. Hey, it's not 100% proven. I can grant you that. Abiogenesis is not even not proven. It's not even possible. According to the diagram. Well, the biggest thing is effects have causes. So you can't get life from non-life because you can't have an uncaused cause for material. Like you can't know that. So yeah, we can't know that. Oh, apparently I am in YouTube. Okay, so apparently my YouTube is streaming my. That's interesting. My YouTube is streaming my StreamYard, which is interesting. Well, abiogenesis is impossible because again, effects have causes. You know, I highlighted this on my note, right? So it's not observable, so it can't be considered scientific, and it's anti-science. Like you can't have an effect without a cause. I think it's on the face of it, it's really that simple. You can't have an effect. You can't have an effect without a cause. Now, people say, well, what about God? God is uncaused, but God is the only uncaused is the only uncaused cause. And I know that a lot of naturalists say, oh, it's just special pleading, but not really, because God is not like us. All right, this is good. All right. So yeah, we can't have that going on. So we are live in both YouTube and in StreamYard. Yep. Let's see. No, I think you're shortening a process as a random when you're comparing the proposed start to current observation. Well, perhaps you could say that, but That's how we make. That's how we use that. This is how we. This is how we come to conclusions. This is how we process data. We have to. We can't. I can't use anything other than the current observation to infer how abiogenesis to be possible. Like carbon matter coming from non-carbon matter is just. It's so absurd. It's almost. It's impossible to put into words. Okay, man. I don't know if I will or not, but you're free to drop a comment on my YouTube channel, or you can DM me. Obviously, you guys have Twitter because you got my thing from Twitter. So, Nicholas, and Nitty, feel free to DM me anytime. I'm pretty sure my DMs are open. If not, let me know and I'll try to rectify that. But yeah, I try to keep my DMs up. All right, Nicholas, you have a wonderful day. All right. Let's see. Oh. All right. So, and here's what I want to continue with my notepad here. All right. So let's go further down. Has there ever been a better exploit? Here we go.
Can you do my hair up like that? Can you do my hair up like that?
Yeah.
And the ball is coming yours.
All right. Put this up on the screen. So this says, I put a little bit. So, has there ever been a better explanation for the origins of life other than God? One goes no. And then down says yes. What are they? Demonstrate how they're more plausible. And I'd love to have anybody share with me a more credible explanation for the origins of life that don't include God. I don't know how that's possible. I have not seen any argument that demonstrates the origins that I haven't seen a better explanation for the origins of life. Let me rephrase. I haven't seen a better explanation for the origins of life other than God ever. I just have not ever seen it. I mean, I've seen people try to come up with a lot of different things over the course of my life to present, but I've never seen anyone come up with a good explanation for the origins of life other than God created life. And I don't know why people find this such a contentious issue. I honestly don't believe. I don't know. Like, you're going to be hard pressed to come up with like you're it's a very difficult thing to come up with an origin story that doesn't include God, that would be rational, consistent, and logical. So I don't know, like again, I don't know how people try to argue that, but you know, people have. So the next stream I'm gonna do a little bit later today. I'm gonna use like maybe Notepad, like I'd use it diagram, using it as a diagram for making my points, and then I think the visual probably helps in terms of kind of a logical flow of how things would work or do work or don't work. And yeah, so Nicholas, again, appreciate the compliment about exactly, yeah. So I use a Notepad, which is obviously a very basic program on my laptop here. It's one of those most basic Word programs there are. But I'm just trying to use it to prove a point that we can't use abiogenesis for anything because it just doesn't work. Yeah, I mean, maybe I'll link in the description here. Gary and I. Gary's handle, by the way, is at FTW_crosstalk. And yeah, so I'm going to link the. There it is. All right. I'm going to link this episode that Gary and I did here in the. Let's see if I can. That's the show that Gary and I did.
I got salt. Did you?
So yeah, obviously it doesn't work. So you guys have so yeah, I've linked the thing to abiogenesis, or sorry, the show that Gary and I did a few weeks ago on abiogenesis. Just totally destroy it, and that was pretty easy to do. I mean, it's just so dumb. It honestly boggles my mind that in the year 2024, people actually accept abiogenesis as scientific theory, and it's so dumb. Honestly, sometimes I believe will atheists believe everything other than the Bible? Like, are your minds so twisted and messed up through naturalism that you can't accept everything other than Jesus, and I think it's a little insulting to your own intelligence. I gotta stop sharing here. There we go. Okay. So, and stop sharing. There we go. That's what I'll try. All right. So yeah, obviously, YouTube is a little bit behind on the streaming part of it. That's okay. I have linked the Rumble in a chat. I think I'm probably gonna close this podcast. Yeah. So unless someone has something to say, there's people that have questions, comments. Hello.
Take a picture in there.
Yeah, I'm live. I'm it's my webcam. Yeah, you're live.
Oh yeah.
I'm on the internet right now.
Tell you, I still got computers down in my basement from the 80s.
Oh wow. I believe it.
Hey, well, just throw them in the garbage.
Okay.
I don't use them for email. That's all.
Sorry. I'm in the middle of something. Sorry, I'm in the middle of something.
But it's getting worse and worse.
Sir, I'm in the middle of something.
You're a busy man, are you?
Yes. I'm live on the internet. I'm right now.
Get back to work.
There you go. All right. I'd be curious to see responses to videos I sent describing the models.
You shared it long enough, I think, if it won't go like mine.
Yeah. Say, I think I gotta find your.
Come on, Speedy.
I can feel my name.
Ah,
They won't fix it.
they won't fix it?
I will.
Yeah, I know Amanda just got it.
Yeah, you could. Our lives are small. Give some more meaning to it. Put in the comment. All right. Oh, Cam is here. All right. I'm gonna.
Painful? Hurt?
Oh, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Oh, good. Welcome to the chat. I was just about to close it, and I said, "Oh, Kem's here. I gotta."
I saw it the moment I logged into Twitter. I was like, "Oh boy, I got to jump in on this."
Yeah.
You'll have to excuse me. I'm eating my breakfast here.
No worries, man. Health is wealth.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, I'm just saying, our health is more important than this stuff.
No, I enjoy the conversation and the intellectual pursuit.
Yeah, that's good.
That's the last bite. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, no worries.
So we're talking about abiogenesis again, are we, Rob?
Yeah. Oh, you saw the you see the little. Oh, you do. I don't know if you can see it earlier, but if you I had a little diagram using just a sketch diagram. I was using my notepad from my laptop, and I was using it screen share?
Oh, I didn't see that. I just
Okay.
hopped in.
Okay, well, it's earlier. Here, I'll pull it up for you. So
Okay.
I did save it, so that's all. I'm like, you know what? I should probably save this because it's probably gonna be helpful for a future reference. All right. Just give me a moment here, Ken. All right. Documents. There we go. All right. So go share, window. There you go.
Okay. So I have a fundamental problem with your first premise.
Okay, sure. Go ahead.
We have observed organic compounds being synthesized from non-organic compounds. That's what the Miller-Urey experiment was about.
Okay,
So,
we
amino
have
acids-
observed it,
Yeah, amino acids, which form the basis of
and
protein.
it happened without any kind of chemical reaction, nothing.
Well, I mean, the chemical reaction is sort of it happens on its own, right? Chemicals don't react. We tell them to react.
Well, I mean, usually chemicals react because they come together, but
Sure, but those chemicals coming together don't require human intervention.
Right. Well, my thing is my contention with it is, how do chemicals come together if there's no force driving the chemicals together? How does it just happen? That would be my contention.
How does water form, Rob?
Pardon?
How does water form?
How does water form?
Yeah, when hydrogen and oxygen come together, they form water.
Right, but there's still external forces that cause it. Could be wind, could be rain.
Okay, the same external forces
could be gravitational forces. So there's still external forces that are
but the same external forces that cause hydrogen and oxygen to come together to form water cause these chemicals to be in presence of each other, if you want to call it that, and then they are excited by something like lightning, as per the Miller-Urey experiment, and they synthesize into organic compounds like amino acids, which are the building blocks of proteins. And so this is something that we have observed, and something that we can reasonably expect could happen naturally without human intervention.
All right. Is your mic all the way up, Cam?
I don't know. Is it?
I don't know. I'm in a noisy place, so that's why I'm asking.
I can't change my microphone levels. I'm sorry. I can move my microphone closer to me here.
Okay, that'd probably be helpful.
Yeah, I'll set it here closer on my desk. Is that any better?
Yes, true. Just try to enunciate. I'm not saying you don't enunciate well. Just I'm in a noisy place, so just
you're good.
Just enunciate well. That's all.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, we have performed experiments that demonstrate that the synthesis of amino acids from non-organic material is more than possible. Yeah, see,
the thing is, like, okay, well, let's just say as an origins, we can talk about what we're observing now, but as far as like the absolute origins of life, I still find this a very implausible theory.
Okay, so is your problem that we did not directly observe the origin of life, and therefore we have no record of it?
No, not exactly. Because like there's things that neither of us have observed that we know are true.
Sure. I mean,
I didn't observe Hitler killing the Jews, but I'm pretty certain that happened.
Sure. The key here is that we have an experiment, a procedure that you can use to replicate these findings, right?
Okay. Well, maybe I'll look up the Miller experiment after we stop the live stream here, Ken.
Yeah, I'll send you a DM with it, and you can read up on it. I did send it to you
if you want, you can link it in the private chat.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
This
is the abstract of it on Wikipedia.
Yeah. Okay. So you can see above that I linked the show that Gary and I did on Rumble.
Okay.
Can you see that?
I can see that. I will have to take a look at that at a later time.
Okay. Well, that's just a show. I mean, that's just us doing what you and I are doing right now. So.
Sure.
So that's not science. That's just two guys giving their thoughts.
Sure. I mean, but this experiment is real science, right? I mean, this is people
Oh, I'm not
doing the work and collecting the data and then drawing conclusions from that data.
Well, I'd withhold judgment of what I consider science or not, and unscientific until I, observe it myself.
My handle on Twitter is at Kemregik, one word, KEMREGIK.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting. I'm looking forward to my bit. I got a debate on Monday morning, man. I'm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll be there. I'll be there watching. I want to see how it goes.
Okay. Well, yeah. I'm gonna lie. I'll probably just I'm gonna have it full screen, so I'm not gonna comment to anything that goes on in the comment section. I'm not gonna say even. I mean, our moderator Daniel, his handle on Twitter is at Darwin@Jesus. He's gonna decide which questions get asked, but I know that the thing is that if you're doing a debate and you've got all these comments going on, it's extremely distracting if you're doing a debate.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So when you're doing a debate, you want all your focus and energy on the debate itself and keeping your focus on where it needs to be, where it needs to be. Okay. Is there anything else in my little diagram and that I've got up on the screen sharing that you'd like to comment before I stop sharing that screen, Ken?
I mean, other than, is it possible for abiogenesis to have ever occurred? Again, the Miller-Urey experiment shows that is possible. We can do it. We can do it in a lab, and that means that it's possible in nature. Has there ever been a better explanation for the origins of life than God? Definitely. There are definitely better explanations.
Okay, well, go with the diagram. What are they?
Well, abiogenesis would be the best contender. Abiogenesis is currently the leading candidate as far as the origins. Has
there been another alternate explanation for life other than abiogenesis that would be on par with God?
It would be superior. Panspermia is one that's been abandoned by biology.
I just heard the term once or twice. Like, what does that mean, Ken?
Panspermia meaning that life did not originate on Earth and it was carried by an impact of like an asteroid or a meteor.
Yeah, but that just kind of kicks the can down the street, doesn't it?
Sure, but it doesn't kick the can down the street for our purposes. We care about the origin of life on Earth, and the origin of life on Earth, according to panspermia, would be
okay. But
that
this
is a theory that's abandoned by biology because there's not enough evidence for it.
But Kim, I didn't say origins of life on Earth. I just said origins of life.
Okay. Well, I mean, if we're going to speculate on the presence of life on other planets, that's
well. I'm not. I'm not talking about the origin of where. I'm talking about the origin of. Period.
Right. Well, I mean, we have to narrow it down to the origin of life on Earth, right? Because this is the life that we understand to exist. Yeah,
but then you're making a case for the location that I'm not. I mean, I'm not saying that's an illogical thing to do. I'm just saying.
Are you making a case for the existence of life elsewhere other than Earth?
I'm not. I'm just. But the thing is, I worded my question in a way that it makes it just the location kind of irrelevant for the how origins.
Well, I think the location is relevant.
I'm not saying it's not, but I'm just saying that
life on Earth as we understand it is only we can imagine that different kinds of life could.
I agree
exist.
that's a rational deduction, but the reason I word things in a way that is just because so we can dispense of like nuances and semantics.
Sure, but I think the narrowing of the scope is kind of necessary here, because otherwise we're inviting questions about life on other planets and the possibility of life originating elsewhere.
Right.
Which is,
right. I mean, we can have a discussion about like multiverses if we want to, but which again just kicks the can further down the street.
I don't even think multiverses is anywhere relevant here. That would be the origins of the universe.
Okay. No, I'm just talking about like if we're just going to keep going in regress, like you know what I'm saying?
Sure. I mean, I know you're alluding to that problem that many creationists point to, which is the problem of infinite regress. But that's not really a problem for people who are rationally minded and scientifically skeptical.
You think infinite regress is plausible?
I don't think it's a problem.
That's not what I asked you.
Do I think that it's possible?
Possible, yeah.
Not really. I mean, I don't even think that it's a thing.
Yeah.
I think this is something that this is a very what would be the word? This is a very human-centric way of looking at the universe, which is you kind of have to separate yourself as a human from the rest of the universe and understand that it's not going to function in the way that you expect it to. And assuming, because we observe that most things have causes, that everything must have a cause is a bit shaky, rationally speaking. There's no reason to think that the universe had a cause. There's no reason to think that life had a cause. It just sort of happened.
But we don't observe that with anything else in the world.
We observe it with everything in the world. There's no reason for weather to happen, but it happens.
No. Okay, let me be more. I mean, like we like for any material thing in the world, we would never say that any material thing in this world doesn't have a cause.
I mean, define cause.
That the thing requires a designer on the face of it.
Oh,
like,
well then clearly nothing in this world is caused.
Like no, like my coat requires a designer. My sweater requires a designer.
The gold under the mountains of California does not require a designer.
Pardon?
It requires the gold under the mountains of California does not require a designer. It requires plate tectonics and mineral science. That's about it. Like the minerals that we find on Earth in the ground don't require a designer. You don't need a designer to explain why you find gold in certain parts of the world.
Yeah. So I'm gonna.
You'd be depressed, Rob? You'd be depressed if you found out that we weren't special.
If life was not, I would. Yeah. So I'm pulling this.
Why is that? Well, hold on. Let me probe you on that. Why is that?
Because I find if there was no because I'm not just, but I'm talking about the fact that if I found out that there was no creator, no designer, like I would find it maddening that this life is all there is, and that I'm not saying that life isn't beautiful or wonderful, but I would just think if this is all there is, and there's nothing more than what I see and perceive with my senses, I would just find it maddening and depressing.
Really? I find that super interesting because from my perspective of knowing that this is all I have, I find myself incredibly driven to create that purpose for myself and to make the most of what I've been given in a colloquial sense. Right? If this is all I have, then I should probably make the most of it.
Oh, I don't dispute that we should. I don't dispute that. I think we should make the most of it all. But see, it's not that I wouldn't make the most of it if I found out that everything I believed was a lie. Mm-hmm. But that I would. I think it would definitely throw me though, because like remember we're talking about the things like here, for example, think of like what's at the hierarchy, what's at the top of your value system?
Freedom,
right? Pardon?
Freedom.
Okay, now imagine if you found out that freedom was an illusion, how would you feel? If you found out it wasn't true, that there's that freedom is not actually freedom, that you're actually a slave to many things, and that your entire conceptual paradigm of freedom is nothing more than delusional thinking. How would you feel?
I mean, the concept of freedom is a human creation. I mean,
right, but I'm just
ultimately
saying,
we're a slave to nature in that sense, right?
But maybe the better question is like, how would you feel if you found out every single thing you valued to hold dear and true was actually a lie?
I would imagine I'd be shocked for a moment, and then I would be driven to understand this new paradigm. And then I would try to realign my life within that new paradigm.
No, that's not. Sorry, I'm just. I'm going to pull this up later. Nope. This guy was. I don't know if you saw anything earlier, Cam, but because you can. I guess you can just comment it without getting your camera on. But Nicholas is asking if it's Nitty on the screen. No, this is not Nitty. This is Chem.
What's up, bro?
This is
yeah, we were
what's your
the other day.
What's your last name again, Chem?
Regic. Chem Regic.
Did you see that London Storm, who's also an atheist, think that basically, to paraphrase, said you got owned in our discussion the other night, but that was his words.
I got owned?
That's what London said, and he's an atheist.
Oh, well, yeah. I'm sorry to hear that.
He said you couldn't make an argument to save your life. His words.
I wasn't really making arguments, more than trying to understand your position and sort of.
And he said to me that I looked like I knew it because I was grinning like a swear cat.
That's interesting. No, definitely. When I make proper arguments, you'll know. Because they're very thorough. Matter of fact, I stayed up till like 3 a.m. Working.
Are you in Eastern Standard Time too, right?
Yeah, I'm on the East Coast.
I think you're in Florida or something like that. I don't know.
I'm in what now?
Pardon?
What did you say?
Where are you? What state do you live in?
Oh, West Virginia.
Oh, okay. So you're not too far from Florida.
I'm very far from Florida, actually.
Actually, wait, are you West Virginia?
Yeah, I'm much closer
Georgia?
to DC. I'm like an hour and a half from DC.
Pardon?
I'm like 10 hours from Florida.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. You're kind of in the middle, I think, between.
Just in that Midwest area, right where it becomes the Mid-Atlantic, up against Virginia.
How's your climate right there now, Cam?
You know what? It's been a little chilly. It's been raining last couple of days. Supposedly we're gonna get some snow, but who knows?
What's the temperature there now?
Right now. Hold on, I can check.
We're in a pretty thick sweater, so I'm gonna assume it's not too warm.
11 Celsius.
Yeah,
51 Fahrenheit.
It's about the same here in where I'm living.
All right. Well, then I guess we're not that far off.
We're both living on the eastern seaboard, though.
Yeah, sort of, kind of. I'm up in the mountains, so my climate's a little different than. Are
you still somewhat removed from the ocean, like quite far from? The
ocean? Yeah, absolutely. I'm like an hour and a half, 2 hours from the nearest coastline.
Okay. That does make a difference. Huge. Weather,
altitude, the weather changes
effect,
a lot.
Lake effect is a pretty big thing.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, when I was living on the east end of Hamilton with my ex a number of years ago, we were in a house there, and like we're right by it's called Hamilton Bay, which trickles out to Lake Ontario.
Okay.
But like. The lake, it's really nice because we're right by the beach, and in the summer it's great because we can just walk down to the pier, get some fish and chips, go for a swim. But in the wind, pardon?
I said it sounds nice.
Yeah, exactly. In the summer, it's that's why people usually pay for a lot more property taxes for beachfront property. Not to mention the property itself. It's because of the location, right? Let's see. We're 3 things in real estate: location.
Yeah.
So, anyways, but in the winter, you get a lot of lake effect. Like you got the wind coming off the bay. You've got the snow getting driven. So you take the good with that.
Yeah, we get a similar, much smaller effect with the Potomac and the Shenandoah rivers, because they're massive rivers. So we get a little bit of that, but not nearly as much as you would with the lakes.
Right. So apparently I'm getting a little more traction on my channel lately, but I think if I do scheduled shows, I think I'll probably get more. Like, just say advertise it on Twitter like a day or two in advance. Like, tomorrow at such and such a time, we're gonna tackle this topic. I'm gonna send out a link on Twitter. Anyone who wants, free to join. I'm trying to monetize eventually. London was trying to help me get monetized. I mean, give me tips to help me get monetized.
Hello.
Hey, there you go.
I lost you there for a minute.
Yeah, and then I actually removed you from the stage, but I thought because you were off the stage, and then I clicked you, and I clicked you and I put you in the background. And then I put you back to the stage.
Oh, geez.
Stage is yours, sir.
I was telling you earlier, I stayed up until 2 or 3 in the morning last night working on my 20-minute intro there for a debate in June. And oh man, I have to cover so much.
Yeah, just remember, we only got 2 hours from start to finish between the two of us.
I mean, you gave me 20 minutes to start with. I'm going to use the whole 20 minutes.
No, by all means, like, because we're using 4 points, so I'm like, in order to like have a decent opening statement, I think 20 minutes for 4 lines of argumentation is a fair time, don't you?
Yeah, I mean that's sort of what I'm going with. I have like a general position and then my 4 little.
Yeah, and Daniel's is, I don't know if you see him at all on Twitter, but Daniel's okay, but he's at Darwin and Jesus, but like he'll be a good moderator. Like he won't.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. See, for me,
I don't have a problem with the moderator.
Yeah, for me, it's like I don't really care what your ideology is for moderating, as long as you like do it like a moderator is supposed to be neutral to the debate. I mean,
right.
Yeah, not neutral to the ideologies, but neutral to the debate.
Yeah,
you're not like Daniel's not there to help me out.
Yeah, no, and
Daniel's
I mean, even
not,
if he was
not
atheist,
there,
he wouldn't be there to help me out either.
And he's not there to be on my. He's not there to white knight for me either. So
right.
I don't need a white knight to destroy you in an argument, Kim.
We'll see about that. I'm not sure about that, but
right.
Oh boy,
you know I'm just messing with you.
Oh, I know. It's a little bit of playful banter. I get it.
I know. Like I was playing poker with my friends, and like one of my buddies, like, you know, I bet I've played more poker than all of you. I'm like, I'm not so sure about that. And then like I was getting cleaned out that night because I'm making some bad mistakes. And then my buddy Joe's like, well, I guess you never learned all the lessons then. Like, I said the quiet part out loud.
Yikes, man. Bro,
I wish more guys were like that though. Like, just like, you know, I think people are so, like, for example, like if some people would have some issue, like some concern with you, like they'll go to someone that you know rather than go to you directly. I'm like, well, if you have a concern with me, like you can come to me. Like,
right. I don't get why people just can't be direct.
I don't. Yeah, I don't
know.
If
you have a problem, just tell me.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know why. I don't know, like, why we've gotten to the point, or people are. But the thing is, you can go the other way around too, where like, well, people will like every time you do something little wrong. Oh, by the way, Kem, I didn't like the way you talked to Rob on StreamYard. I'm like, okay, but that doesn't help. You got to be more serious. Like you say, if you have a problem with how someone talks, like, well, I didn't like the way you said this, or I didn't like, you know, so. My issue with rhetoric and dialogue and conversation, like if you're gonna correct someone on something, then actually like make it specific. Like one of the things I despise in rhetoric and language and verbiage is ambiguity. I despise ambiguity.
It doesn't help for sure.
No, well that's why I despise it. It not only doesn't help, it doesn't add to anything.
Right. I'm big on using precise language. You should be able to mean what you say and say what you mean, right?
Yeah, exactly.
There should be no ambiguity about what you're saying.
All right. Oh, like a Ace McLeod. I said, I'm just gonna. Do you know what? I'm gonna pull this up. This is amazing. I was like, oh yeah, I was like, do you know what? I was like, oh, I'm gonna tell him I got a better idea. I'm going to share it.
Okay. Let's see what we're looking at. Yeah, this sort of like, it's not a good look, man.
Yeah,
it's not a good look. And this is the kind of thing that I'll tell atheists all the time is if you don't treat believers with like respect and dignity, and you take them and you meet them where they're at, they're not going to open their minds to you and your ideas.
Yeah, see, says the guy who believes in magical sky wizards and talking donkeys.
Yeah, it's just not the way to go, man.
Yeah, I mean, see, this Ace McLeod guy, obviously, I mean, this is why a lot of theists don't, like myself, we don't take. I'm not saying like Kem is a respectful dude, and obviously we've had nothing but chill conversations lately.
For the most part. I mean, even on Twitter. I mean, the first couple of tweets at you because when I made my rebuttal video and you just sort of ignored me,
And then I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna get in your face, and we're gonna see what you say then. But once we started talking, it's like it's simple.
Yeah,
right?
no,
I thought
the thing is, I thought your rebuttal video was distracting with like the video game.
Oh well, it was just meant to fill space. I just wanted something on the screen so that you wouldn't be looking at a blank.
My thing is,
editing.
I wish it would have been you on the screen because I found it distracting.
Oh well, yeah. It's just I don't. This is my phone. I'm not even using I don't have a webcam. I don't have a camera studio. So I was just here talking to my microphone.
I wouldn't have known it. Actually, it's the way you have it positioned. I wouldn't have known.
Oh, I notice it because it's positioned low here up against my monitor.
I mean, if you never said anything, I would have noticed.
Oh yeah, well.
I mean, my webcam is it's super just one of those that plugs in the side of your laptop and mounts on the top of the laptop.
Yeah.
Because for whatever reason, my laptop is so old it didn't come with a built-in webcam. Which is that's how you know you've got an old laptop.
That's how you know you've got a good laptop, man.
So, anyways, this Ace McLeod guy, this kind of atheist was why a lot of atheists aren't taken seriously.
I mean, it's definitely unhelpful. It's not a good mentality to come into a conversation with, and this is what I was talking to you about the other day about militant atheism.
Yeah, I don't think that's militant atheism that guy was using. I think it was just really bottom feeding troll.
Oh sure, just the whoa, wow, I can't speak today. The disrespectful demeanor, right? Of just I'm not going to take anything you say seriously. I'm not going to meet you where you're at. I'm just going to be a disrespectful ass to you and make fun of you for believing something that I don't believe.
But it doesn't help your case.
No, it doesn't. And
it just makes you look childish and foolish.
Yeah. I mean, it just shows that you're not interested in having an intelligent conversation about these really big questions.
I mean, we both. I don't know how many theists do this to atheists, but I mean, imagine the ratio is much higher for atheist to theist, just trolling theist accounts and just
Yeah, I would tend to agree with you on that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure that some theists troll some atheist accounts, but probably not that much.
I don't think you guys are any theistic trolling is probably not intentionally trolling. It just comes off that way.
Yeah.
I don't think that you guys intentionally try to fuck with people online. Exactly. I just think that the way you talk to people sort of comes off as arrogant or I mean, when I talked, Aaron is a good example. I don't know any. Aaron's Raw is probably the most arrogant atheist I've ever conversed with. So like I said the other day, I don't think that it's an arrogance thing. I think Aaron's just been around the block too many times. I think he's just sick and tired of hearing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, but I mean that goes with both people on both sides of the aisle.
Sure, but again, Aaron's entire career has been doing this, right? And so I can imagine that after 20 years of doing this, it gets tiring.
Well, I mean, I haven't been doing in the public eye as much as Aaron has, but I've been involved in apologetics in some degree or another for 20 to 25 years.
Sure. But I mean, Aaron has been doing it publicly and in a very vulnerable way where he's putting himself in front of people.
Yeah, but
that's his
pejorative and prerogative. No one forced him to do that.
Oh no, certainly not. And I would my advice to Aaron would be, hey, maybe have a little bit more of humanity, but
yeah. So what
you can understand why he's gotten to that point.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I've been when I started apologetics, I was horribly condescending, insulting. I would be that guy, oh, so you believe in uncreated universe, you think of macroevolution, and I would just and instead of some of my claims, I would just dogpile on insulting rhetoric.
Yeah, I mean, again,
you
should be able to attack the idea, not the person, right?
Yeah.
You should be able to have that conversation.
When people get up all into their feels and emotions, then usually intellectual, rigorous debate goes out the window.
Yeah. That's why I try to refrain from having those emotional conversations.
Yeah.
When we start getting into those weeds, I just sort of like, hey man, I'm not about that, right? I'm here to talk about
Or
ideas.
or childish, like people who say, "Oh, you're only a Christian because like you're raised Christian." Like you don't even. And the thing is, the people who say that don't even know how I was raised.
I mean, that's an
it's true that I was
it's an
raised
interesting point, right? And it speaks to sort of the unreliability of religious claims, right? If you had been born in any other place on Earth, you'd be more likely to be of a different faith.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, we can't live in
like
a world
the monopoly of truth that your religion claims to have.
But the thing is, Christianity is not the only worldview or faith that claims a monopoly. Islam claims a monopoly. Buddhism claims
and that's what I mean.
So
that's what
every single ideology on the planet is basically claims a monopoly.
Right, which is why it's unreasonable to just sort of assume that yours has the monopoly on truth. You should be able to like investigate it objectively. Sorry, my camera's acting up here.
I see that. Yeah, because I got a really strong internet connection, so it's not on my end.
Oh well, it's just because my phone's connected. It's happening over Wi-Fi. The camera, right? My PC is connected directly to my router, but the camera here is over.
Regic.
Yes,
that's his last name.
Yep. Anyway, I have some things I have to get to today. I've got some work planned out, but it was great speaking to you, and it's great that we can continue to have this conversation.
On the live chat before. I'm just about to. I swear, my cursor was like starting to make its way over to the end of the live stream.
Well, anytime I see that you hop on live, I'll try to hop on if I have time.
Okay,
because I do enjoy talking to you.
What do you do for work if you work? Or you're a student right now, Ken?
I'm a writer.
Oh, you're a writer. Okay, so you're self-employed.
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah, so I've written for a couple of online publications, and I currently work for I collaborate for a podcast online, Out of Battery Life. It's all firearms stuff though, so I'm not sure if you'll
firearm stuff. Yeah. Okay. So you're all about the Second Amendment, are you?
Oh, 100%, sir. I'm a Second Amendment absolutist. I believe that you have the human right to defend yourself.
By what objective standard can you say that firing arms is? I'm just messing with you.
Well, I wouldn't even say it's an objective. I just believe independently that it's a human right. You should have the right to defend yourself from your government.
Of course. Obviously, as a martial artist, I would agree with that.
I mean, yeah, your martial arts aren't very good, against the bullet, but I'm glad that you're taking the initiative.
Hey, man, I saw Jet Li's The One, and he was able to dodge. It happened in the movie, so I'm sure it could happen.
Oh, yeah, of course. Okay, it happened right there. What do you mean I can't do it?
I mean, like, if he can slow it down in time,
exactly.
I'm sure.
Exactly.
I mean,
you can't.
I mean, I can't. I use special effects in real time and slow down a bullet and like get out of the way like Keanu Reeves in the Matrix.
They have to use movie editing. It's an inferior practice. I can just do it in real time. It's been great talking to you, Rob. I hope you have a great.
I like Jet has always said you got to discern reality from a movie.
Yeah, exactly. It's been great talking to you, dude. I hope you have a great day.
You too.